All right. Hey, hi. We're live. We're playing Alien tonight. And we were just doing other things. But there's severed arms in the channel now for subs. So Matt, if you haven't seen, there's a Matt-inspired new emote that we
My
have on our Twitch
arms.
channel. Yeah, those are Matt's arms. One of those severed arms has got to be Hobart's, and then the other one has to be Hutch. Right? Wasn't the second one? Yeah. So there you go.
Sure. Every
I think
character
that's
I've
what it
played.
was. I think it was Hutch. I don't know. He was so forgettable. All I remember is he had two arms for a little while and then he stopped.
Oh,
That's all. Just kidding. Just kidding. All right. So hey, let's get going. We got. It feels like it's been forever since we last played. We've been remarking about that before we got on. Is that how it just doesn't feel like it's been 2 weeks? It sucks, but we're gonna try to get as much as we can done tonight, while arms are just being thrown left and right all over the place. I love this. This is great. So let's just do our intros. Say who you are. If you've got something you feel like plugging, go right ahead and do that too. Who you playing, all that kind of stuff. So Melissa, you are first on the overlay until I kill your character. So who are you?
Enjoy it while I can get it. So in this game, I am Master Sergeant Margot Barrett, generally with Adventures in Lollygagging. You can catch us here every other Monday. On off Mondays, we do UVG, Fridays Delta Green, Saturdays Blades in the Dark. We just wrapped up our first chapter, so we're going to do some Halloween stuff coming up.
I think so. Yeah, still got to figure out what that's going to be exactly. Got a couple options, but we'll see. Did you introduce your character? Your Master Sergeant.
Master Sergeant Margot Barrett.
Okay.
She's in charge, and sometimes she runs away.
Melissa loves being in charge. Just loves being in charge.
Oh, very much.
Okay, speaking of another commanding officer who likes to run away, we've got Chuck.
oh man, that's me. I'm Chuck, Defenders of Cobalt. We do things. But I am playing Staff Sergeant Eric Koenig. I am second in command. I also run away, and my ex-wife is a terrible person.
Yeah. Yep. She really is the big bad behind all of this. Whenever we finish the final chapter of this, we're going to get there, and all of a sudden we're going to see, I don't know, the former Mrs. Koenig. I'm not sure if you've ever got a name of her yet.
Oh my gosh. I don't know if I have. I think I thought of one at one point, but I've slept since then. So
there you go. And what's the OK doing this week?
Oh, Wednesday we've got Pathfinder Second Edition. You should check it out because the crew just found out that they're playing Pathfinder Second Edition, running through a giant ship like Metamorphosis Alpha, which is set in the Star Wars universe. So I'm just throwing all the shit at the wall. It's fantastic. Thursday we got Fifth Ed, Watercolors and Warriors, and Friday Basic Fantasy Role Playing Game, and then Saturday Forbidden Lands.
Yeah. Next up we got Jen. What's going on, Jen?
Hi, I'm Jen. I have a channel called Pixel Preller where we do some streaming of the video games. And tomorrow night at 6:30 Central, we will be doing some more Tribes of Midgard because we own it. And then Saturday we'll be over on DOK's channel for some Forbidden Lands at 1 p.m. Central.
Right on.
Oh yeah, Sergeant Zoe Ripper. I never run away, and sometimes I roll good, sometimes I don't.
Sometimes you charge in to defend the strongest.
Yeah, I mean, I did pretty good.
You did. It was awesome.
I still crawled away. Yeah. No injuries.
Throws her body headlong in between herself and Claymore. That was good times.
You're welcome.
Next up, we've got Adam. What's going on, Adam?
Oh, lots is going on. I'm with Grim and Perilous Studios, and we have recently announced something I've been sitting on for quite some time. Very excited to talk about it. It is something called Beyond the Fire. It's where we have teamed up with By the Fire podcast to create a manual of perilous creatures from across the Black diaspora. And so it's going to be a supplement featuring African folklore illuminated by Kenna from the By the Fire podcast, and you'll be able to use these monsters in the Flames of Freedom role-playing game. So if you're interested in that, you can check on the link I dropped and check it out.
Right on. All links are in the channel, so you can kind of see it there, and I'll see if I can remember to put them on the YouTube comments too if you're watching this later. Next up, we got Matt. Who are you?
I'm Donald Spuzz McKenzie. And I'm the eyes and ears for this hero fit. I'll keep you all alive and keep my arms attached.
For now.
That's a jinx again.
That's a jinx. I think it's gonna
That's
happen.
a jinx. That's
Yeah.
it. Tonight, both arms are gone. I didn't lose my arms at Delta Green though.
Yes.
This week, yet. No.
Well, who knows
this
what they're
week
gonna
I
do
got
with the corpse, you know?
Call of Cthulhu over on the Sirenscape Twitch channel at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thursday night, Jeff is running us through Delta Green over on Garblight Games at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. And this Sunday, we got a special Game Hole Con worldwide wrestling game that we're doing in the afternoon, 12 to 3 Central Standard Time. And then Alien every Sunday night on Fraley Channel.
Right on. And in the bottom right corner, is that a U.S. senator I see? Is that Senator Graves? I don't know your first
Senator
name.
Graves.
Senator Graves on our channel? What? Boo!
You can all quiet down now. I'm terribly upset at the juvenile behavior of you nonsensical buffoons.
Oh, goodness.
I wish I could play with you guys on Sunday.
I'm going to miss you.
But tonight, I'll have a lot of fun playing Heckler AW Claymore. I'm here to guarantee you that Master Sergeant Margot Bear, Mama Bear, is the best leader you've ever seen. She didn't run away. She tactically assessed the situation. That's all that was happening.
Tactical withdrawal. It's very
Tactical
different from running
withdrawal.
away.
Exactly. Okay.
He's just a big, dumb breacher Marine that is incredibly loyal to their CO.
Mm-hmm. And gets better when he has fewer dice he has to roll. Like he's
Yeah,
got the 12 dice. No, but the 2 dice. Success.
He hates math, so he likes to defy the odds.
All right, so let's dive back in then. So I like I said, it's been a couple weeks, so I'm trying to get my head around it. I don't know why it feels like it's been a month or so, but let me give a summary. So this is basically the whole chapter 3 summary as best as I can get it. This is the crew you see is they're the Hammerheads. They're a spec ops team of Colonial Marines. They were initially sent to a Hyperdyne factory moon because they were chasing a military vessel called the USS Asteria, which had gone missing after responding to issues on that moon. And they were also supposed to determine if reports of some kind of synthetic insurrection were accurate. And then, I mean, they were accurate. They learned on that moon that Hyperdyne synthetics had actually overtaken their factory administrators, and they'd removed their violence inhibitors, and they started printing up their own perfect replicas of humans. And so, like, the idea being that they might be trying to replace certain humans elsewhere. The Hammerheads managed to take control of the moon back, but they collected some intelligence, and then part of that intelligence was that there were some coded messages and signals that were being sent trailward into deep space beyond the 20 parsec limit, which is kind of like what encompasses the network when we think of like where kind of communications regularly can be sent, even though there's still going to be holes here and there. That 20 parsec limit is kind of a noteworthy area. Now, the Hammerheads were then ordered by their commanding officer, General Braddock, to follow these signals into deep space, continue to try to locate that missing ship, and try to collect more intelligence about the extent of this like synthetic conspiracy. Like, how far does this actually go? The first stop is where we're at right now, which is a long abandoned Hyperdyne station that's been adrift in space, empty space, but between systems. And they started crawling through it, and some of it was under atmosphere, some of it wasn't. There's a lot of damage to it. There were a couple turrets that seemed to be functional, but as they were crawling through the station, they started encountering all of these different unknown utility synths that seemed to be there, affecting repairs to the station. They also were able to intercept a couple stray signals that were being routed from network through the station and then into deeper space and then back. So it's like this is almost like a piggyback. So something's being sent through this to some location deep in space, but then back to other locations in network. They also started as they were crawling through, they found all sorts of weird stuff. These weird messages, these like scripture, like written out in blood and in synth blood and in various other fluids. That was a weird way to say that. And they also get all these like references to like angelic like hierarchies and things like that. And they saw a bunch of dead people, some of them who were like posed as like puppets and things like that. And then they started searching a med bay. And as they were searching the med bay, they discovered three med pods. And in one of those med pods was some sort of extra solar species that we might know as the neomorph, but they don't necessarily know. So that's exactly where we're going to pick up, right there inside this med bay, as whoever wants to be there staring down at this med pod can go right ahead. But it is a pale skin, almost translucent skin creature, no eyes, this prolonged head, like a prolonged back of their head, these huge teeth, the gums and the lips are kind of snarled back. It's thrashing around and it seems to be restrained within this med pod. So all of you are here. What would you like to do?
The hell is that?
Sorry, first question. Are we still panicked? I'm assuming we would be
So,
if we're carrying forward.
I was assuming yes as well, because I'm also panicked.
I would say, yeah, you're probably still panicked for
Okay,
now.
just wanted to check before we roll.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say you're still panicked.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
This is fascinating.
It's the second most terrifying thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yes,
Yeah.
with the arrangement of its features on what I would conclude would be its face. Yes, that would be awfully terrifying to the human psyche.
Yeah. I say we just shoot it and move on with our day.
Barrett's going to ask Ripper, is there anything that you can do to the med? Because it's within the med pod. Is there anything you can do to do something to it while it's in the med pod?
I can see if there's something, maybe.
Sure.
Right?
Roll contact.
Yes. Yeah, I'll look at it.
Oh no.
Really stressed out about it.
Freeze. So you step up and you got to get really close to like the glassy visible area of this med pod to get to the controls. And as you do, the thing just lashes out and just smashes its head crazily like a bug trying to get through a window outside. It just smash, and like you can see bits of its own skin start to break away, and this kind of this blood discolored starts to sort of pool outward and smear against the glass. And right as that happens, you see that the medpod arms immediately start moving and move to re-stitch it, and they start injecting various things into it as if it's intentionally trying to keep this thing alive.
All right, Koenig, I just saw that. What was the first thing? What's worse than this? It has a big old dong head.
We all know the answer to that. Don't play coy. My ex-wife, after she's had a little too much Chardonnay.
Worse.
Way worse.
You know,
I was thinking about it. Yeah. I was going to say, I was thinking about it today, and, she's a lot like Amazon. Wants all your money and is goddamn heartless.
That's a great insight. Not sure right now is the best time to share it.
It's not. Let's just shoot this thing and be on with our day.
Speaking of insight,
Let's kill this here.
Did we
Speaking
see
of-
anything? Oh, sorry.
Speaking of insight, I think that Sergeant Ripper has the right of it. Perhaps we should freeze it.
Should we
And
make that so?
then shoot it once it's frozen.
If you did shoot it once it was frozen, then there is a possibility that it would shatter.
I mean,
Either way, once it would thaw out, if it did not shatter, it would have whatever damage was done to it.
And if this thing, for some reason, these synths decided to keep this weird thing here on this place where they're doing all the signals, I'm not smart enough to understand why they would do that, but maybe it's important that we don't destroy something that's maybe related to why these stupid toasters are being so stupid.
Well, if it was cryogenically frozen, then it wouldn't be destroyed, now would it?
Indeed. Anybody else decent at Comtech?
Not at least. I much as I want to shoot it, I think you might be right. If we call back home about this shit, they're gonna say bring it with you.
I am not.
Sarge, I'll try.
Yeah, go ahead and roll it. And anybody else, by the way, who wants to roll observation is welcome to do so here as well. You don't have to, but if you want to, you're
I'll
welcome
do that.
to. Okay.
Good night. I rolled 0.
Okay.
0 successes.
So you start messing around with the control pad, Spuds, right? You were trying to kind of get it. Was that what you were doing? You were trying to pick up where Ripper kind of backed away after the thing thrashed out. And that didn't quite work. Again, every time anyone kind of gets anywhere close to the control pad that would allow you to start inputting commands, it just goes absolutely intense and crazy, and it harms itself, smashes itself, but it's restrained pretty firmly. As you're watching, Spuds, so you notice a couple of things. First, inside the pod itself, you notice what looks like numerous wounds that have been sutured and healed. Like this has been going on and on for a while. And then secondly, just kind of looking around, you notice that in this same alcove area, this sort of recessed, like rectangular section that's annexed off of the med bay itself, you see that there's like a stack of other crates and things that are off in the shadows. There's not a whole lot of light underneath these med pods, and you can kind of see as you back away, maybe you back into one, stumble into one, something like that. But you can see that there's several what look like Wayland Utati lettered crates and containers, some of which have the biohazard kind of warning on it. And you can see that one of them almost looks like you would equate to like a personal remains, like a remains transfer. Like if somebody dies at deep space and they have specific requirements with what to do with their body and like the transference of remains. But you see all of those kind of stacked up in the shadows. So that's Spuds. And Barrett, you would probably see a little bit of those crates, I think, because I think somebody else got like one success
Abbott
on that.
saw that.
Okay, Abbott. So yeah, you would see them too.
You know, I am not very proficient with contact, but I am proficient with using medical devices. Perhaps I could just initiate the standard protocol for cryogenically freezing something, much like any other time I put you all to sleep.
This is what you do. Go do it.
So I'm just going to start the process. I'm not going to really try and subvert the machine or anything like that.
So I'm double checking to make sure that these would even be able to do cryo, because this isn't a cryo bed. This is a med pod. So
no, that's my bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the type of thing that you guys saw, that you guys tried to help Koenig out with and everything like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Then yeah, sorry, strike that. That was player error. So
Doesn't someone have a welder or something?
I do have a torch.
Try to weld this med pod shut?
I could. Do you believe its restraints will not suffice?
I'd feel safer with it welded shut. Now,
Very
this
well.
is like glass over the top of it, so we can see inside of it.
Yeah, but it's not glass. It's like protective. So you
Okay.
think like you're not sure if it would be proper like bulletproof, but it's definitely withstanding all of its attempts to, even though it can't get a whole lot of leverage, all of its attempts to like kind of headbutt and like claw away at the underside of this pod. So whatever it is, it's sturdy, but it does seem like it's been restrained. It also seems like it's been here a while with many injuries that have been constantly getting like immediately repaired.
I'm happy to assist with that. Do anything that you want to do. But I am a little worried. This seems like specialized equipment, and maybe we just go welding things willy-nilly. Maybe we compromise it. and then we've really screwed ourselves, and then the dong head's gonna come out, and then we're in trouble.
Well,
Perhaps
see
we
what you
can
can do, and let's move on from this room.
While you're welding that up, Spuds, come take position with me just in case things go sideways. We can light it up.
Roger.
Okay. So
Claymore.
you're trying to weld this. I mean, it already is shut. So like you're just trying
Yeah.
to weld it to make it so that it's
Reinforcement.
impossible for it to open. Okay.
Claymore,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. I think you can do that. No problem.
would you not agree that this is sufficient enough? And the only reason to weld this would be if we wanted to keep someone else from opening it.
I mean, maybe that's why Mama Bear wants us to do it, you know. And if that's the case, then all right.
Would you like for us to weld it shut so that no one else may open it?
Yes, make it so. I'm gonna go see what else is in the hall, and we can move on.
So,
So just describing the area, like there's like the med bay itself. Okay. So square room, imagine, with like a series of like actual like cabinets and supply cabinets and things like that, an assessment bed. There's an annex off to the side, which is where you have these 3 med pods and that stack of like Wayland Yutani crates. And then there's an office that's also annexed off of the actual med bay too. And then there's the door that leads back into the passageways that you all were traveling.
Okay, so Spuds and Koenig are keeping an eye on the hallway. And Ripper, why don't you and I go into the office and see what we see in there while they're doing the welding?
Sure, I'll lend a hand.
Okay. And then Abbott, were you going to take the time to weld this thing shut, or?
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. That's not going to require a roll. That just takes a little bit of time is all. Okay. In the office, so you see basically what looks like a kind of a doctor's private office, like a medical doctor's office. You see what looks like a series of kind of display charts and things like that. Various like standard gear, like standard things you might see. So like eye charts and like anatomy posters and things like that. You see a very, very old calendar on the wall as well that looks to be at least 7 years old. You also notice what looks like an old terminal that is under power as far as you can tell, but it doesn't look like there's any, like no one's been in here, you would think, in some time, or at least it doesn't seem clear that anyone's like accessed this particular terminal in some time.
Ripper's gonna kind of crack her knuckles a little bit. I'm just gonna walk over and just try to fiddle with it and see if there's anything on it.
Yeah, go ahead and roll contact.
Apparently, I didn't crack him hard enough. Oh boy. See, I don't run away.
So as you go to sit down at this little stool and start typing away and getting access to the contact, you hear the sounds of something moving, like this little zzz, and you look up and you can see that there's a CT, like an old-fashioned CCTV camera, like an actual camera that slowly rotates and points down at Ripper as she does this. And maybe that's what freaks her out, and she just immediately like gets out of the room, runs out of the room at that part, back into the main med bay, and it's just sort of hiding in the corner, just like slouching in the corner a little bit, taking a breather.
Barrett is going to shoot the camera.
Yeah, no problem. You shoot the camera.
And I'll shout back out to everybody. Somebody's got eyes. Keep your
This
eyes
is the
up
first
for-
time you've seen the camera, by the way.
Yeah. Make sure everybody knows to keep their eyes up. Look for cameras. I'm going to go ahead and try as well. I'll Try
Man,
pushing
no one
it.
can roll Comtech tonight. Have
I
you guys done a
know.
single roll on Comtech? Okay. Jeez.
Just
Okay.
need to
And
let
I've got a
Claymore roll it.
-2 on that.
That's exactly right. All right, so
Oh.
yeah,
She
you sit
orders me
down.
to, I will.
You sit down and you start going through as best you can. Old interface. You don't think this is a recent. You don't think this is certainly not the most up to date like mother network that you've seen before. You start going through and you. It does look like someone's accessed like medical records recently, but it doesn't look like there's anything on here to suggest like who was like the on-call doctor. A lot of stuff has been wiped. You do notice that there appear to be some references to like new cargo, and like there's a couple little files here and there. Some of them video files, some of them text files, and those seem to be the most recent. Like literally within the last week, there's a couple files that seem to have been up that have been like anchored to this particular terminal.
Can I play the video?
Yeah, so you start going through them and you notice what looks like one video seems to be of one of the umbilical openings, kind of like the one that you entered, except somebody properly docked. And you can see that there is a handful of what looks like Wayland-Yutani workers, and they're like kind of default, coveralls and suits that are kind of moving onto the station, and I don't know, almost like immediately overtaken by those kind of strange spider-like synths that sort of came out of the walls and the vents. You play what looks like an audio file, which sounds like some kind of like SOS signal from a Wayland-Yutani science vessel that self-identified itself as the Pythias, saying that they had, they require assistance, and so they like were pinging, the station for a while, and then there's just a little note about like a unidentified xenobiological organism that's being kept for study.
I think we found that. Does the SOS provide any coordinates within the SOS of where their Pythias is located?
From what you can gather, it probably was the Pythias that docked, but it was coming and coming and coming, because it was over a week ago that you're starting to see like these signals that were coming in. Then it was docked, and then you don't know. It doesn't say specifically where it went, but you would think that is likely where this might have come from. This little present.
I see. And did we see the crates being unloaded or anything from that?
Yeah,
Ship?
you didn't see them, but you do see like it's in addition to like a xenobiological organism, it does say an additional, like just basically additional supplies and things. Additional samples is one of the phrases it uses.
Barrett's gonna shout out and say, "Did anybody open the crates in that room?
Do you want us to?
Please."
All right.
Okay, so yeah, you go over to them. There's a few things over here. There's one that's kind of long that almost looks like a coffin container, and then you have a couple more that look like they have like biohazard symbols on them. So is there a preference to which one you want to open first?
Probably not the bio. I mean, I'm not saying Claymore is smart, but he probably will be hesitant about the biohazard. I'll do the other
Okay.
one first.
Do the other one. Okay, so you open up this long container, and inside is like a vacuum sealed body bag. You can see that inside the container too, there's like self-regulating like environmental controls. So like this particular crate was literally cooling itself.
Does it look to be like a human-sized body, or is it like in a regular?
It's like maybe 6.5 feet long.
There's a very, I mean, I would consider average-sized body in here, but some people would consider taller than normal. But there's there's a sealed body in the first one.
Interesting. Perhaps I should take a look.
I say we burn it.
Wouldn't disagree with that.
I mean, maybe we look and confirm if it's another one of those things. And if it is, since we already have one, we just burn this one because we don't need an extra.
All right. I got my rifle on it. You do your work.
All right, I've got my flamethrower ready.
All right, I'm ready to shoot also. Conan and I'm ready to fire.
Okay.
All right, Abbott, will you do the honors of opening it up?
Yes, of course. I would love to.
Okay. So you open up this crate, you zip down, open the body bag. It's cold. It's very cool. And what you see on the inside is very much the body of a woman in probably her late 30s, early 40s. You can see that there's some trauma on her face, but looks more like blood and kind of like a dislocation of jaw and sort of some certain face muscles or face bone structure. And you can see that she's kind of contorted and looks to be a fairly painful position. She's still within kind of her Weyland-Yutani gear. Like she's got what looks like a basic environmental suit, no helmet or anything like that. Fairly tight against the skin. You can see that she's got a, right on the upper right or upper left breast. You can see that there is a name. And it just says Nito Mori is the name underneath like the Weyland-Yutani logo. It's when you kind of start to roll her over that you notice that the back of the body, incredible trauma has happened, as it just seems like the entire back of this person's body has been ripped free. Like the spine is kind of broken out and almost like kind of flopping over and no longer connected to the head. There's like this huge section of the back of the rib cage that seems to just be missing, and there's an intense amounts of tissue loss. It's almost like it's like an immense exit wound, but you don't know of any weapon that could potentially cause that kind of exit wound.
It appears that there was an extremely large caliber weapon that had come out of this, out of her back. However, in order to be this large of an exit wound, there would have to be something on the front. The only other thing that I can think of is that perhaps one of these synthetics ripped out her spine with their bare hands.
That makes
And
a lot more
perhaps
sense.
some of the ribs and everything else that come along with it.
Just like a toaster with a total asshole.
Indeed.
I've been on the receiving end that before. It could match.
Yes, although I have the capability of doing the same to other people, I have no desire to do such a thing. I find it to be, well, one, something I'm impossible of doing, but two, even if I had the capability, I'd have no interest in doing.
Well, I guess she's like super duper dead, but maybe an egghead back home would want to review her.
Yes, I think that that would be something that we should do. Also, according to your customs and traditions, it is good to return a body. I know
Aaron's
that
been kind of tapping at the computer, and she'll just kind of yell out, "Do you open up all of them?"
Got the first one, mangled body.
the other one here has a biohazard symbol. I thought I should tell you for your own good. As I'm looking at Claymore.
Yeah. Well, at this point, there's like Spuds, Koenig, and Claymore all have aimed weapons.
Yeah,
By all
but
means, you're the presenter, the man of honor.
well,
That way, it
so
can get you first.
I go ahead and return the body back to
Mm.
whatever state we found it in, put it back in, turn the climate on and whatnot.
Yeah, it's easy enough done.
If it is a biohazard, perhaps even being in the same room would be a danger.
What's your plan? You want us to leave and you do the work? I'd hate to leave you here unguarded.
Well, if it is some form of sickness or disease, all I would need to do is wash my skin off before I made contact with the rest of you.
We're all in our enviro suits here.
Ah, yes, of course. How could I forget such a thing? We've only been in this scenario for a couple play sessions now. Yes, obviously. Very well. I shall open the container then.
Okay. So you open the outer container. It's just like this hard shell, black, with like the yellow Weyland-Yutani logos on the side. You see the big biohazard warning. There's a seal that you kind of break as you do so. Pop the lid off. You see that inside there's some intense kind of cushioned interior, and nestled in it you can see is a fairly large glass sample container. You can see inside of that container, because it's clear, there are several small bulbous pods. They're a little bit kind of like bird eggs in terms of size, maybe a little bit bigger than that, dark, kind of a blue-gray, almost black. And you can see that they're all stacked kind of neatly together. You can see that on some parts of the interior of the glass, there seems to be some kind of like dried resin that kind of obscures some of the view, but you can see most of it inside.
There appears to be some eggs from some sort of avian. Some sort of avian creature.
Birds.
Yes, that is what it resembles. Now, whether or not it is, I mean, we have just seen something that I've never seen before, so perhaps this is how it procreates.
Well, looks like we got more crap to take home with us.
Spuds, you were kind of looking out, I think, at the...
Yep.
You hear the sound of kind of scattered footsteps on the walls and on the floor of the corridor in front of you. And about 10 feet down the hall in the darkness, flickering through what looks like that red emergency light, you see on the side of one wall near the ceiling a vent pop out and fall on the ground, clattering the metal on the tile. Thank you for that raid there, lords and ladies of fate. We are playing Alien tonight. I'm about to kill Matt again, as he just saw something fall in a dark hallway. So Spuds, yeah, you see this thing fall down. You slowly begin to see these little kind of contorted arms and legs begin to kind of reach out from inside of the vent, as if something's about to pull itself out, like a spider coming out of a small hole.
Right. Koenig is next to me. We were both kind of posted up, so I'm gonna nudge him with my elbow, and it's kind of with my chin or whatever, my face just kind of gives attention down the hallway, and point and motion in the direction of the grate so that he's aware of it.
Shit. I'll key our mic to give a heads up, a silent heads up that something's in sight. Let's move forward slow, keep at the ready, see what we got.
How about we pop a shot at it?
Yeah, it's only 10 feet away, and you can see it's
Oh,
like
we-
flickering in
10
between.
feet, let's run! He is going to take my arm. Let's run.
Shoot.
I would... Are you going to shoot?
I mean, if we see this thing and it's 10 feet away.
I'm popping an electroshock grenade and backing up.
Okay.
Or backing up and popping an electroshock grenade. One of the... In either order.
Okay, so let me just describe the area really quick. So you're in basically in the doorway of the med bay, which doesn't have another like passageway out. You're looking down the way you came back from that central area where like the dead puppet dinner was, and that kind of connects there. And there are these flanking passageways. You think one goes to the barracks and one goes to a place that had that big red line through it, like don't go in there. And so like you can kind of see straight ahead, and then there's 2 passageways off to the side. It's straight ahead to that central like kind of dinner area, which is where it's coming from. So if you were to back, you can back up in, or you can kind of flank off to the sides in different passageways.
You spoiled us with all your maps of the past, Jeff.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay. So we can back up into this room though, and can we close the door between us and it?
Sure.
If need be.
Of course.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold position and shoot.
What? I'm throwing a ball buster and backing up.
I think, yeah, both of you do those things. Yeah, so throw the grenade, and then you take your shot.
I'm not throwing the grenade with him in range of it, just so we're clear.
What is the range on that grenade? Do I see him take this grenade? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna back up and shoot that.
Okay.
If I may not realize the range, but I'm sure Koenig would.
Okay. So yeah, go ahead and.
Holy crap, Koenig!
Wow.
Nice.
Oh my goodness.
So, with the electroshock grenade, it's a -2 stamina check,
Right.
and if it fails, it's incapacitated for a round.
It did jack squat for its armor. So what's the total damage there?
What is that? 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 altogether.
Okay.
And then I start screaming.
Or you're screaming as you shoot. The grenade flops down as well. And you said it's a stamina -2.
Stamina check -2. Yeah.
All right. Let's
Why
do
am I panicking?
-2. I pass the stamina. However, 5 was enough to actually go ahead and give it a crit injury. As you take a shot at it, you see it momentarily as it hops down and it starts to uncork itself from its strange contorted like spider like figure, and it starts to shape up into like an almost humanoid form. The electrical grenade comes in, explodes, it gets all distracted by it, maybe it blinds it a little bit, slows it down, and then the shot comes through, and it's going to, let's see, the crit is ruptured fluid pump. So as you, whatever it is you were targeting, it's kind of hard to figure out exactly where, but you just see an explosion of that yellow synth blood on the wall behind it, and it just begins to slow down, like it's struggling to move as it's still caught in its kind of uncorking phase. Okay, the rest of you, what do you want to do at this point? So, Ripper, you're in the corner taking cover.
And apparently, I need to do a panic roll now because we hear him scream.
Okay, let's go ahead and do that then.
Oh yeah, I got to do that also.
Sorry.
Oh no.
Okay. All right. Oh my goodness.
I have a -2 on that though.
All right.
Screaming.
So Ripper starts to scream as well as
gosh, darn
Koenig
it.
screams the fire, the explosion of the electrical grenade. You hear like the thrashing of the neomorph creature inside of the med pod that begins almost like wonderful dramatic timing at the same time, just smashing against the glass. Abbott, you stumble the small little container of those little eggs kind of rattles ever so slightly, but stays intact. Okay, so whoever still has an action. I think Koenig, Spuds will say you've done your action. Barrett, Claymore, Abbott, Ripper, you're welcome to do something. Like you kind of got the jump on it, so you can all go ahead and do something.
Do I have to roll panic again because Ripper then screamed because Koenig screamed?
Oh,
It's a
like the chain
cascade.
reaction thing? Is it the cascade thing? Is that Matt? What is it?
I don't, because it'll just keep going forever. I
Yeah,
did the
okay.
initial one, and that's it.
think-
We all rolled off of Chuck's.
Yeah, the last time I looked in the book is like if you do have cascading stuff, it only gets replaced with a higher one. You don't have the effects of all of them.
Okay. Let's just let it go. And
All right, good.
it's only
Then-
one that's popping out of this vent. It's not 50 coming at you like yet. So
I'm just gonna field commander.
okay.
Twice and just tell everybody just take it out. So who is left? That's gonna be Claymore.
Abbott, Ripper, and Claymore haven't gone technically.
Yeah. So I will do Ripper and Claymore.
Yeah, go for it.
So that means I have to do, like you said, it feels like it's been so long, but it hasn't been. So that is Claymore, 1 success, and I gotta roll stress, which is a
After this,
-2.
don't forget you all could like barricade yourselves in here for 10 minutes, take a breather, get some of this stress out of your way. You can always do that. Don't forget about that.
And I can always administer nap relief.
Okay. So Barrett, you take you shout, and then you immediately take cover behind one of these surgical beds. Like go get him. And then classic Barrett fashion.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't need to hold your hand. You can do it.
Okay, Claymore, you heard her. Take it out.
Of course. I will aim to help offset my tremble.
Okay.
Swap around then. Pulse rifle, and let's see how it goes.
Oh dear.
Oh my
Okay.
god, these dice tonight. What the hell?
That's good. What are you talking about? It's good.
I'm happy with it.
I mean, it could have been better. Just with
Push it.
I mean, it's
Well, I mean, it's already critically injured.
already critically injured, and it's 4 damage. So
Okay.
you blow one of its arms clear off, just flying off to the side.
Gonna call you Hutch.
Upstairs.
Hear a voice. Hey.
There we go. Everyone gets it. We kind of got an arm. Destroyed arm servo. Ripper or Abbott, two of you want to do anything?
Yes.
Go
I would
for it.
like to take my entire action slowly and carefully, putting these away and sealing up the container.
Oh yeah, no problem. That's easy enough to do. How many bits to kill Matt's character? Like 5?
I was gonna
6?
say sometimes we do that for free.
I mean, how many should I give you to be allowed?
Dad, I thought you joined my side last night. What
Oh
happened?
goodness. And then Ripper.
So would I be screaming, or I just lose my slow action?
Did it? I think you just lose your slows. You still have your
Okay.
fast. So if there's something, see,
Just-
you're screaming your lungs out for 1 round, losing your next slow action. So you lose your slow action, but you still have a fast.
I've got to run away. I just want to get away
Okay.
from whatever is happening now.
You
I don't even know
So-
why I'm
We're this
screaming at this
wonderful
point.
cover that I am. I'm in
Yeah.
this
Oh,
great
hey.
cover.
Yeah, I'll
There's-
go next to Barrett.
Okay.
And we'll look at each other like, yeah,
Yeah.
Sergeant Power.
So this thing will then start moving slowly. You can see it doesn't have a slow action, but its arm has been thrown off. It's spurting synthetic blood out of the socket by its shoulder, but also from this large exit wound in its back from where Koenig sniped it. And it slowly lumbers towards the door. But that's all it really can do because it's only got a fast action. But it's essentially like blocking the doorway area. You'll come around. I think Spuds and Koenig were the first to go. If the two of you have an action you would like to do.
My scream lost me my next slow action, so I'm just going to back up a little more.
Okay, sounds good. Spuds, what would you like to do?
Yeah, I got something similar as well. I wasn't screaming, but I was. What was it? I lost something as well. I was frozen.
You're frozen.
Oh, I lose my next slow action.
Yep, next
Frozen
slow action.
fear. Lose your slow action.
Okay. All right.
So I can, but I use my fast action.
Yeah, you still got that.
All right, I guess I'll walk away.
Revenge of the River Beast.
Disengage.
Fair enough.
Far back as possible. Get behind cover.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
I-
there's a bunch of
I-
these like cabinets and like
Sure.
medical beds and stuff that you can hide behind. No
say-
problem.
Abbott, stick me, Abbott.
Affirmative.
You know, you could let the neomorph go, and the neomorph can probably fight this thing, right? Clearly. All right, then Barrett, Claymore, Abbott, Ripper, 4 of you.
Abbott will administer a nap relief to
Spuds.
M. Spuds.
Okay.
Thank you.
Fair enough. Clear your stress. Then Ripper or Claymore or Barrett.
Barrett
After you.
can command Claymore again to try to get him a bonus.
Okay.
Yeah, I can go crowd the door or something.
All right. Get +3.
There we go.
Wow. All right then. Guess I'll do exactly that.
It's this thing that's just moving forward, its arm bleeding off to the side. It's taking up almost the entirety. It's gangly and sort of strange shape, but it's still humanoid. It has like a uncanny valley look to it. Like whoever designed this thing certainly designed it more for utility than for trying. Like it's complete opposite of what you saw on the Hyperdyne Moon. Like these are much, very, very clearly these are synthetics. These are more working Joe models types.
Gotcha. Well, I'll move in. I'll go to crowd the door, and I have it all stand up here. There we go. Mama said knock you out. I'm gonna knock you out.
Okay.
You kidding me? All those dice for that?
Right?
I'm telling you, man.
Jeez.
You
What is going on?
you take the stun baton, you sweep it, and it kind of blocks with its one good arm. Then you take it down low, and you catch it right in the side of like the knee area, and you just take the angle right out, and the bottom part of its left leg just goes flying across the room as you have destroyed one of its leg servos, and it falls prone, and it can only crawl.
Well, I took the arm and the leg. Now it's blocked. I'll roll stress again.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, Ripper. I think you're the only one left. I think Abbott gave Spud some stuff. Conan got a skip. Bear did her command. Claymore attacked. Ripper.
If I've got good line of sight, then I'm going to shoot it.
Yeah, I think you're okay. No one's technically in melee with it yet, so
Okay.
it'll be able to get if it survives to its next turn, it will be able to crawl into melee with somebody. It's that tight of quarters now. But no, you do manage to finish it off there as you take a moment, you line up the shot. Claymore, you see him kind of duck down, reloads, and you unload the pistol or whatever weapon you're using, and just rip it apart right at its torso. Just cut it clear in half. Falls over. You hear it try to do that kind of that yell from its mouth. You remember when like its mouths would open, it would kind of shoot out some sort of sound. But as it does so, you just kind of fill the face with bullets, and it falls down. The only way out though is through that door, Ripper. That's the only way to flee.
That's great.
So you guys watch as Ripper gets up, shoots this thing, it flies apart, and then Ripper just runs towards it, unloading as she's just like running at it. All sorts of synth blood flying all over the place, and she disappears out into the passageways.
Can I run after her? Because I can do like a command or something, can get somebody out of that, right?
Yeah. So you chase after her. Roll your command as you see her like kind of looking at this intersection. Does she go right, left, straight forward? And she's getting ready to just bolt into the darkness of this
We
station.
know how long we take to make those left and right decisions. She's going to hang out there.
Okay.
One success.
All right. Yes, the Milky Horror.
Oh my God.
So you just
Here comes
scream
the
at her.
stress cascade.
I've got 2 less though. I've got
Yeah.
Nerves of Steel, so I actually have
Okay.
2 less than that.
So you see her running away, and you just run up behind, grab her by the shoulder, command her, and just like shove her back into the med bay at that point. Shut the door. And all of you are now within the med bay. This thing is on the ground. Half of it's outside, half of it's inside. What do you guys want to do?
Give it the boot so we can close the door.
Yeah.
Okay. So door closes. You're in the med bay now. You've kicked it out of the room. What now?
It sounds like we need to hunker in here for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Might I recommend we all find a place where that cannot see us.
We got them crates. They had body bags and stuff in it. Any loose ones we can cover it up? drape it over it so it can't see us, like putting a bird to sleep.
Oh yeah. There's also just blankets and stuff in here too.
Oh yeah,
So-
just take
yeah.
one, just cover the pod that way.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You hear it just start snoring. No, yeah, you thrashes around for a bit. You hear the moving around of arms, and then it just sort of settles. You totally birded it. Okay. So are you all looking to kind of rest and recover? You did like the 10-minute relieve some of your stress, your panic,
Yes.
and get rid of your panics.
Is anyone currently broken?
That's a good question.
Not me.
I'm not.
Not broken. Wounded,
So,
but
yeah.
not broken.
For every full turn, so about 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, you spend resting in a safe area that's secured, and we'll call that this. You can reduce your stress level by 1. You can't make any skill rolls while resting, and so if your rest is ever interrupted, it doesn't count. So, how many turns are we spending here?
I've got 5 stress. I don't know about everybody else.
I did till I got stuck.
I got 7.
Take some nap relief.
We got any left?
I have 2 remaining.
How's everybody else looking?
I had 4.
Claymore?
I'm at 2.
Nap relief junkies. I like it.
Hey, why don't you poke me with one of them things?
Yes. Sometimes it is often rumored whether or not artificial persons have nap relief running through their blood. As I administer one to Koenig.
Yeah, I'll take the other one.
Does that clear out all of it?
If you've taken more than one, however, in the same shift, so if anybody else if you've gotten stuck for a second time, this shift, then you get a -1 mod to all your agility-based skills until the end of the shift, as you're a little shaky now. Taking too much. That's only if you've stuck yourself more than once. The first dose is fine. It's the second dose in the same shift that'll get you.
First one's free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you sure you want
give you a taste?
This? It will make you disoriented for a while.
Me or
That's-
Parrot?
Me.
As for that to Barrett.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've already taken some. I'm not here for my agility, so
Very well.
proceed and thank you.
So yeah, I have no more nap relief until we get back to the ship.
Okay, so how long do you want to stay locked up in this place? Resting. How many shifts? Or not shifts, how many turns? So like
If anybody's hurt too, every 10 minutes gets you a hit point.
that's a
Oh
good
man,
point too.
that would be nice.
Ooh,
20, 30 minutes? What are we thinking?
yeah.
Dangerous because someone knows where we're at, but I mean, we aren't any good in the state we're in at the moment. So let's just go for the 30 and see what
Okay.
we got.
30 minutes. Everyone take 3 stress and 3 health back if you need it.
If anyone does
Awesome.
not need to devote the whole time to resting, I'm currently operating at 44% efficiency.
Look, I've talked to you about the goddamn math. I don't know how to do the doots and the beeps and the boops on you.
Let's assume I have a points system. And out of a possible 9, I only have 4.
He puts in his headsets.
I mean, I could spin around trying to do a comtech, but no guarantees.
I'll patch you up. It's not a problem. I got you.
So whoever does that though, you can only heal 2 stress and 2 health.
Oh, I took a nap relief. I'm good. I don't need to recover from. Yep, I'll patch you up. I am a master at contact. I got you.
He might be.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, shoot.
That is 4. That is more than what I thought I had. This is a surprising day. Let me go ahead and give that a push.
Oh, Koenig. Hey,
There we go.
Look at that.
Hey.
Look at that.
I've done something good for the day.
I'm now operating at 66% efficiency. Thank you so much.
That's good. You know what? You add one more 6 to that, and that's the permanent zip code of my ex-wife.
Well,
I
as a
can
matter
give
of
it a go
fact,
as well because I also took nap relief.
Yeah, if you want, but then remember, then if you had to heal anything like health or stress, okay, then yeah, go ahead.
One.
To get an extra one. There you go. So between the two of them, your 2 commanding officers get to work. Half an hour
Matter-
passes.
Make
And half
sure
an hour.
that those weird bird egg things are securely put back into their box. And
Yeah, I think Abbott did that. He actually spent a turn,
Okay.
a specific action
Yeah.
during the combat, putting them away. But yeah, they're in there. I will say this: Abbott and even maybe Claymore, when you go over to look at them, they like kind of move a little bit when you, not so much when Abbott does it, but when Claymore gets over there and he starts to like double check, kind of opens them up, looks at them, you can see they start to sort of kind of pulse just a little bit. And as you're watching Claymore, you just see a tuft of like dust just kind of pop out of them and sort of smash up against the insides of the glass, and you can see like where the resin, that like kind of that residue on the inside of the glass likely came from inside those little eggs. There's these tiny little holes right at the top of one of those. There's
I
like
think
6
the eggs are
in
trying
there.
to make sex on me.
I mean,
Well, you can't really blame them for that.
them artificial womb soldiers, such a catch. Okay,
I
so 30
believe
minutes
in-
go by and you don't get interrupted at all. You don't, nothing comes in here. Occasionally you hear the thing in the med pod thrash around. Sometimes you hear like these distant rattlings in the vents every now and then, but nothing comes in here. Nothing breaks the door down.
And we've pretty well searched this room. Like we got what we could from the computer. We've opened all the crates.
Yeah. You would imagine that you know, the computer didn't look to be used very frequently. Like again, if you could get onto the bridge, get into engineering, get into if there's a mother office in on the station somewhere, which is, it's possible there would be something, or it could just be like a captain's quarters, commander's quarters, something like that. You would probably be able to gain greater access, and make another roll.
So we got some information from a computer terminal, right? Isn't the bridge 1 level down?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, we got to find us a way down.
That
I
we
don't
do.
remember seeing any more hatches going down, do you?
I don't think
Wait.
so.
You haven't fully
Think so.
explored the
Yeah.
area too.
Okay. So, and Barrett will just kind of say to everyone, okay, we know where we're going. We know we're trying to get to the bridge and we need to find a way to get there. We just need to move. I don't need you to turn to me every time, left, right, whatever we're doing. We're just moving. We're moving forward. We're getting to the bridge.
All right.
All right.
Always left it is. Let's get going.
Okay, so you step out, open the door. I'm assuming like Spuds and Claymore are probably up towards the front. Spuds for sneaking and looking, Claymore
Yeah.
for shielding and busting. I'm assuming that's kind of what you guys are doing. If it's different, let me know.
Nope.
But you
that's
step
right.
out. Okay, you step out. You're very, very quiet, Spuds, as you move out into this sort of 3-way intersection, and you can see that the body of the synth that you killed, that you kicked out of the room, it's not here anymore. You can see it's been dragged. You can track like the drag marks, and it seems to drag all the way back to that same vent that it popped out of. You can see like the drag marks of the synth blood up the side. Now you know that going to your left would take you back to the barracks. When you peeked inside the barracks, you remember that there were issues. There was stuff like floating around here and there. You saw like 1 or 2 bodies. You know that if you think of it like almost like a hexagon, right? Like different, kind of a hexagon in terms of layout. And you know that you all came down through a hatch in some kind of lab that had radiation flooding through it. These strange tanks that were, a couple of them were broken. A few of them had some strange liquids in it. You know, at the center of it was some kind of, it was like the eating area. It's like the kind of the dining room, basically, the mess. And that's where that weird, puppet show is. So that's like straight ahead goes to the mess. To the left would take you to the barracks. To the right, you're not sure exactly. where that would go. You didn't do like a full sweep of the level, so you don't, you didn't really search anything, but you're certain that there's no way down in the med bay. So which way do you want to go, Matt?
You did.
You were muted,
Always
sir.
left. Sorry.
Okay, so left. You start moving left, and you sweep back into the barracks. You go through, and you can see that this was the room that when you first opened it, there's kind of stuff kind of floating around here and there. There's bodies that were 1 or 2 bodies, old, long dead bodies. You've seen now uniforms from multiple companies. You've seen Wayland Yutani, you've seen Hyperdyne Corporation, you've seen LaSalle Bionational. You move through, you've already looked at this room, and you pop out the other side. And that's when you come face to face with what looks like a staircase going down.
Started out with face to face with, and I was like, oh crap.
I know. I was like,
Yeah.
but I've got 3 successes, Jeff. Am I stealth?
No, nothing. You don't think anything saw you. If anything was watching, or if anything was listening for you, you managed to kind of sneak your way. And I'm assuming you're a few feet in front of everybody, kind of doing hand signals or communicating quietly on your closed radio, whatever.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. But yeah, you see a staircase going down. You see what looks like on the other side of that sort of central hallway, you can see there's entry point into some kind of room that seems to have suffered structural damage, like the door itself has been kind of collapsed inward. So you're thinking that might be that closed off room when you first hop down onto this level. And then if you went to your right, I'm a little quiet. Okay. But if you went to your right, you'll get back to like the dining area.
We got stairs going down.
Shall we continue in that direction?
What did I say? Just go. Move us forward. Waiting on you.
You're not the one up front here. Can't
I know.
sarge.
That's why I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Move it along.
Yes. Mighty comfy back there.
It's okay. I'm up here. I'll hold your hand if it makes you feel better.
Don't give her too much trouble. She needs to be in a good running position.
Master Sergeant Barrett, I would like to request permission to go up to the front.
You don't need to ask permission, but I don't know why the hell you want to be up front.
Please deny permission.
I'm here, Claymore. You were offering?
I know you don't get scared. Stop trying to hold my hand.
No, I am not
That's
scared.
just sweet friendship right there. Let's go down these damn stairs.
Yeah, let's
It's
go down
really
the
a
stairs.
bromance. This whole campaign has led to a bromance between Abbott
Yes.
and Claymore. Okay. So you start moving down the stairs. And Spuds, when you get down to the level, you can see just utter like chaos in terms of like torn out consoles, panels of the walls that have been like ripped and torn and shred. You can see that there's open conduits that are like cascading like little chunks of electricity here and there, and there's what looks like a little bit of like flickering light here and there, enough that you can see that there are 2 sentry guns that seem to be cloaked by these stacks of trash and rubble, neither of which seems to have detected you with your 3 mobility stealth as you sneak down. Now, you're the only one that can see them. Everybody else is behind you. But you, but you don't seem to have triggered their overwatch.
I've had a run-in with the turrets already here, so I'm going to hand motion for all of us to back up out of here before we set them off, and before everybody just files into this hallway. And then I'll relay that. There's a couple of them turrets down here, and I don't want to get shot again. We gonna dress up Abbott with one of them bodies again?
No, that was a horrible plan. We've got a
Well, once we stuck the synth on the front of his shield, it was actually a brilliant plan.
Yes, perhaps we could learn from how we did it before. And we
have
could
a
try it again.
Claymore with
Just-
a big shield. made for such
Yeah.
things.
We don't have one of those bodies anymore. We could strap Abbott to the front of his shield and give that a
It
try.
didn't work so good last time. Abbott got shot. Listen, Claymore, just run up there with your shield. We'll all duck behind you. It's like that one scene in that one movie. Just all in a line.
All right. Mama said don't sit around and talk about it. Just do it. So I'm going to go up there. I'm going to do it.
So you're just gonna charge in, shield up.
Yeah, charge in, shield up, and be ready to try and shoot him out.
Okay.
I tried to order.
Okay.
Didn't go well.
I'm gonna go ahead and do initiative. I think with this one. Yeah. Let's do initiative because it's possible because it's one thing for them not to see Spuds. It's another thing for them not to see you and your giant shield running in. So yeah, I'm just gonna add like the 2 cents to the tracker as my. I don't actually have tokens for the guns. All right. All right, so Barrett, technically you would go first. You can go ahead and roll your command if you want.
Do you want to
don't
take the command that I already rolled?
Sure. Yeah, that's fine.
I rolled nothing.
Okay.
But I just wanted to be fair about it.
Koenig, you're perched somewhere in the middle to the back, I would imagine. You do not have, the only person right now that has line of sight on them is Spuds. So Koenig, it's your call if you want to move up to try to get
I'm going to hold. We got a plan. I'm going to hold.
Okay. Abbott?
So we're waiting on Claymore to go through. So yeah. I will just hold as well.
Okay. Spuds, you good? Just waiting?
Yeah.
All right. And then I'm gonna roll a tiny little check here. Just a little check. You can see the sentry gun sort of just move around in the darkness. There's this tiny little targeting laser that kind of courses through. And at one point, Spud, you watch as it just kind of covers right over top of your head, but it doesn't seem to recognize you as there's too much shadow that you're hiding in as it failed its observation roll against your mobility. And then Claymore comes to you.
Okay. Well, I suppose I use my movement to get up in there, and then I may as well shoot at these things.
Okay.
I learned my lesson last time. I shouldn't be lobbing grenades in this place. So I'll just go with some standard pulse rifle action.
Okay. Anyone trying to do too much movement in this little landing room area, it's okay if just getting into it is fine, but if you try to move across it or get close, you're gonna have to roll mobility. It is just like overwhelmed with sort of debris. But yeah, so you step in.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll. Whatever attack you want. All right.
Okay.
So you take a look at the one where the laser just drifts away from Spuds. It's at that point you kind of tap him on the shoulder. He steps off to the left, and you just move out in front. You've got the shield up. You've got like a gun resting on top of it, and you're firing away as you step inside.
And I doubt that's enough to take it out. I don't recall offhand how much damage they took.
Okay.
I've got a general idea from before, but if I need to push, I will.
Yeah, you can if you're trying to kill it and run around. Yeah, you're gonna have to push.
Yeah, I'll push. All right.
Okay.
Ooh, 4 successes. I like that.
Yeah, you unload into it, but it doesn't and you can definitely you caught it on its side, and you can see that you can hear the tink 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 as the bullets just embed into the side. You can see it begin to wobble a little bit on its stand, on its sentry stand, but it does seem to slowly start to move back. You probably damaged to the point where some of the oscillation is a little off, but it still seems to be functional. Okay, so then we'll keep going, and Ripper, you're up. You hear the gunfire has begun.
If I've got line of sight, I'm gonna see if I can try to shoot the one that oh my gosh, Claymore just shot at.
Yeah, go for it. Okay.
Hey.
So what's the total?
3.
Total damage?
3. maybe?
3? Is it 3?
Nine.
Yeah, it is 3, and 3 would be
Okay.
enough actually. 3 would be enough. As you start firing away at this thing, as you step in, it begins to smoke and kind of tips over. All right. However, there are now people that are in line of sight of this last one, the second sentry gun, which kind of moves back. I'm going to say that Spuds is still hidden, but since Ripper and Claymore both took shots at it, it's going to be 50-50 which one it targets. 1 to 3, it'll be Ripper. It's a 6, so it will unload on Claymore. Let's see, it's going to be 8d6s. All right. Okay. Go ahead and roll your armor.
I will. Screw you, armor.
Okay.
And
Go
you're
ahead and
behind your
take-
shield, right?
So, yeah. Oh, yeah. In that, you're counting your shields, everything's in there.
Yeah, it's a ton of dice, but the dice just don't like me tonight.
So the
Oh,
second
man.
sentry
They
gun
never do.
quickly shifts. You see the red laser light come out, peers right into the shield of Claymore where it's got the notches that, or whatever, like your little decorative thing, and it unloads. Claymore, you hold it up, but you just feel the force just begin to push you back as you can take 4 points of damage.
I'm really glad we rested.
So most of the, like a whole like battery of bullets start hitting this thing, start hitting your shield. Some make it through. You can see tiny little holes start appearing in the shield as it starts piercing through. Yeah, I should also, next time it should be, these are armor piercing. So next time roll your,
Oh, I'm sorry.
it's totally fine. I should have reminded you. It's fine. And you only got the one, so it's no big deal. Four damage is fine. Okay.
And
So we
you
go
can
back to
click on armor and it'll do it for you.
Yeah.
Barrett, back to you as you're hearing now gunfire coming from both of these sentry guns.
It's okay. I blocked it with my torso.
All right, keep at it. Gosh darn it.
I keep looking over at Chuck and Zoom. Let me tell you about how terrible my ex-wife is. Cracks me up.
All right, got a success for Claymore.
Okay, Claymore, you got a +1.
Yay.
All right, Koenig. Gun firing is starting. One of them you've seen it starting to smoke, but the other one seems to be fine. And has just unloaded on Claymore. What do you want to do?
I'd imagine in this hallway I'd have a pretty hard time getting line of sight.
Yeah.
So I am going to hold and wish for the best.
Okay, fair enough. Abbott, what would you like to do?
Okay, so Claymore has. How close is he to the turrets?
I would put him at maybe about 15 feet on the other side of the room.
Okay. So Abbott will go up to where he's behind Claymore and he'll like duck out and take a shot and then hide behind him.
Okay, so you
Some
move
more.
up, you're behind Claymore, and you take a shot. Go ahead and roll your slow. So fast to move up, slow to shoot.
Okay.
Since you're not trying to cross the room, you don't have to roll that mobility yet. Okay, 2 points of damage. Yeah, you put a couple of bullets into the kind of the shaft, the stand itself, but it does have, it looks like some kind of defense paneling in front of it that's kind of absorbing some of that. But you do think you've got through and did a little bit of damage to it. Spuds, you're up, man. What do you want to do?
Well, Spuds has been shot by one of these things before and almost died and is not a fan of them. And he looks at his two commanding officers who are both just kind of hanging back and follows their lead.
This is officer material right here. That's a promotion-worthy action for Spuds. We gotta get him a captainship. Thanks, Karai. Everyone has to sit up now. Posture check. Okay. So the other one is smoking and not functional. Claymore, it is your turn.
All right. Well, since I can't dodge bullets, I may as well aim
Okay.
and then take another +1 from leadership.
Yeah. 1 plus 1 from Barrett.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll
Okay.
push. Said really love to not die.
One more success would get it.
God
Oh no!
bless it. The dice really hate me tonight.
Okay. You're okay. You're just trembling. This thing is starting to smoke, but that was not quite enough. You can see it's just on his last legs, but it is Ripper's turn, so Ripper could finish this thing off.
And I sure will try.
All right. It won't take
Feeling
much.
very confident about this.
All right. So yeah, you step in. Claymore moves forward. Abbott slides to the side, shoots, puts a hand on the back of Claymore. Ripper, you get up right next to Claymore, and you unload in the same direction. And between your fire and Claymore's fire and Abbott's, the three of you just managed to take this second sentry turret down, and both of them now seem to be malfunctioning. You can still hear them like whirring and trying to move, but something within the internal chassis, the body of these things, is just not functioning. You have defeated these two sentry guns. All right.
Just a big
So-
bloody thumbs up back to the commanding officer. We did it.
Nice work, everyone.
Fantastic. I didn't even have to run away from that one.
Okay. So you step it. So I assume you sneak up into the room a bit, and like I said, there's debris everywhere. You can see some of these conduits are kind of ripped ripped on the walls here and there. But as you kind of round the corner of some of these stacks, you do see that there are some busted doors here and there that are kind of has that same kind of collapsed sense. Either something was pushing against it, or maybe there is some kind of internal structural damage that happened as things kind of collapsed inwards on itself. But you notice that there's kind of a sign pointing towards like Command Center Bridge. But you also notice that there's like one open door that's leading towards where the kind of the bridge panel is pointing. And you can see these big old black crates are sitting there open. And you see these almost like metal canisters sitting in them. The crates themselves, when you look at them, they have that same kind of Weyland-Yutani logo on the side.
How big are the canisters?
I would say, probably a good, 4 by 4 by like 3 feet tall. I mean, these are the crates, and then there's multiple canisters inside. Sorry, so that's the size of the crates, and there's several like
and the
metal
canisters are
canisters
smaller?
inside. Yeah.
Like, what do they look like? Are they?
So they look like kind of metal vases, like flower vases, but they like there's a cap on top of them.
A vase or an urn, maybe?
A little bit like an urn, man. A little bit like an
okay.
urn. Yeah.
You
All sorts
know,
of fun stuff in here.
this may have just been how they were bringing their drinks in. We should, freshen up a little bit, have a sip.
Sorry.
You
Nothing.
first, Koenig.
Oh, I'm just pulling your leg. Let's head on to that bridge.
Okay. So you move forward. You have to pass through this. As you pass through, you look down. One of the canisters is open. And you can see the top kind of screwed off part of the canister is kind of laying off to the side. And inside you can see what looks like black reflective goo. It also appears that some of it has spilled down the side and is in the base of the case now. And like it hasn't done it recently. It doesn't look like it has. But at the same time, it doesn't look like the goo is like dried in any way.
Does this mean anything to anyone?
It's Marmite.
Not a bit.
Well,
Listen, as much as I like to joke about eating weird things, I'm gonna probably pass on this one.
don't touch it, and we'll grab some samples on the way back out.
Hey, if you want to grab samples, that's cool. If you'd like for me to cook it, I'm glad to do that too.
Perhaps you could spread it on some toast.
With some eggs, we've got a full lineup.
Dude, this is just turning into big old creepy space station brunch.
Perhaps
Open
we
us up a
should.
diner.
Perhaps
Is
we
there-
should put the lid back on it.
That's a little too close to touching it for my
I
flavor.
don't want to touch it. There's no
The
way.
crate, not the.
Oh. Do we see the lid for a crate sitting there?
It's
Alright.
one of those like snapbacks, so it's still there's like a hinge. You can kind of close it back down.
Just in
Yeah.
case this is radioactive, please allow me.
I'm not going to argue that one.
I was
Are
going
there-
to let you be the first one to take a hit.
Are there other crates, or is this the only one?
No, there are a couple.
Mm-hmm.
Let's peek and see what's in the other ones.
Yeah, you open it up
Same thing.
and you see the same thing. However, roll an observation test, Barrett. Okay. You notice that there's like these very faint engravings on these canisters, on both of them. But you do notice that there is a difference between those that are in the open crate with all those little canisters, those urns. There's these little engravings in them. The one that had like the kind of the black goo. And then the second set, slightly different. It's it almost looks like kind of like hieroglyphics in some way. It's like a pictographic representation of something. No earthly idea what the hell it means.
Have we seen this writing language somewhere else?
Not these characters.
Well, then. And so we've now opened all of the crates that are here.
I'm gonna close
No,
them.
there's like 4 in here, but you open, you go through them and you basically just see it kind of as a mix of those two things. It's either the ones that have the same kind of insignia that this black urn, the black goo urn has, but then there's all these others that aren't open. These other urns with sort of same kind of imagery on it, just slightly different, like a very faint difference. But none of those are open. Only the one urn seems to have been uncorked.
So I'm gonna hold it up to everyone and just say, "Anybody want to give this one a crack? See what's inside?"
Thought you're holding the open one.
I know, I was too. I was like, holy crap.
No, the one that isn't yet open.
It's another one of them urns?
Right, but it had the hieroglyphics on it.
Different image on the outside, like a different label, basically.
No.
If it's an order, it's an order, but maybe we take this back to some guy named Poindexter and let him work on it.
Barrett will put it back in the crate and be like, fine, let's get to the goddamn.
Barrett, roll a mobility test.
Oh, no.
Oh, I've got a -1.
That's a shame.
No.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't take the -1 out. Sorry.
That's fine. You got 3 successes. You just needed 1.
Okay.
As you're placing this back down, the way in which you situate your hands on it, you hear a as it kind of starts to turn, and then the top part of the urn just kind of starts to lift up off of it, like it's a sleeve, and then folds down to the side, revealing an open center in the middle. When you look inside, it's right there, almost like a little bit of kind of bubbly effervescence momentarily pops out as you quickly step back, and it's white goo of some kind, this kind of glistening, thick, milky substance.
So we've got white goo in these crates and black goo in those crates.
No. Abbott wouldn't say, Abbott says, perhaps it is best if we would take these back and open them in a sealed environment.
Yeah. You're right.
Say we just, the black one creeps me out, right? The black goo, but I ain't too keen on going through urns that were clearly meant for a, certain donor facility and got misshipped.
I have to agree. We already have a dong head. I don't need alien skeet. Let's move on.
gonna close the crate back up.
Okay. Do you try to close the urn back up first?
That would be a good idea, I suppose.
You have an
But I-
environmental suit on. What's the problem?
A -1 agility.
You have an environmental suit on.
Yes,
It's
I will
fine.
close.
Master
I will close
Sergeant.
the urn.
Okay.
I've
try to do,
already
like, the
touched it.
Opposite. You kind of like rotate it the opposite direction, and you can see, you hear, and then like flowers or like petals of a rose starting like kind of the fold upward, closes up again, and then you close the crate. Up ahead,
We'll figure out later what that does.
up ahead, you see a bulkhead door. It says bridge on it.
Ah, thank God.
Made it.
Almost. So we go back to kind of marching order again.
Yeah.
Okay. You go up to the door and you realize it's kind of sealed shut. What? Who's opening it? Who's going to try to open it?
So you mean like it's locked or it's sealed shut?
Is it
No,
comtech
like it's-
or yeah? What
it's
are we?
it's been heavy machinery.
Mm.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Boo.
Clay.
Wow, you
Claymore.
guys suck
Yeah.
at contact tonight. What are you
Yeah,
talking
but
about?
I have 2 more die to not roll.
Yeah, but I
Doesn't
mean,
the-
like, it's not gonna do you any good. You're not gonna roll any successes.
Exactly. I just wanted to
think
see
the-
how many blinks I could get.
Would the
I
cutting
wanna
torch
count
give
out.
the +2 bonus in this situation?
Yeah, using it as a tool. Yeah.
Okay, I'll try that out.
Would you like some assistance?
No, but do it anyways. I'm sorry, I'm so petty.
It's fun.
Very well. You know, I could just outrank you and require you to let me assist you.
Oh,
As I turn the the torch on and get to work.
All right. So I'll give it a go. Did it roll? I don't think it did. There we go.
Oh, there you go.
Wow. Despite my grumbling, we are a good team.
Take the torch out. Abbott. You kind of, both of you start on either side of the door, just begin cutting. It's a good couple of minutes. It's a good couple of minutes. But eventually you manage to cut through and just sort of push the door down in front. And you see in front of you, as you look inside, is a completely dark black room.
are there any controls near or next to the door?
Just peeking inside, there's not a lot of light where you're. The only light really is what you bring. There's remember that there's been those constant like emergency lights, those red emergency lights at the top. So you get a little bit just within the first couple of feet. It looks like there's some kind of machine off to the left. It doesn't look like a console though. You're not sure what it is. It actually looks like a jury rig, some kind of jury rigged piece of machinery. But no, it doesn't look like there's anything there. Also ripped off of the inside wall is the standard kind of punch button keypad that would open and close these doors or hack into these doors to open them. Seems to have been ripped off.
The Barrett's actually got a high beam shoulder lamp,
Okay.
so let there be light.
Okay, so you just get up behind Claymore, Abbott, who are both maybe crouching, and you stand over top, shine the light in,
What do we see?
and you see what looks like a series of steps that kind of go down onto some kind of grate in front of you, and then it seems to overlook. Looks like some kind of command center. You see these two desks, kind of desk areas right in the middle. Probably doesn't get all the way to the end of the side. The other side doesn't get too clear of a view, but you see like on the far end of the room, there are some, again, strange like makeshift jury-rigged like machines. And as you're doing that, you actually catch a slight bit of movement on the very, very far side of the room. Scanning some of the walls, you can see that there's like some doors here and there too, like flanking the sides of the room itself. But why don't I just take you to the map? I'll just take you to the map because Matt was calling me out for not doing maps earlier. So I will go ahead and take you in, and I will remind you that it is dark in here. But I will nonetheless, hopefully you can see. Hang on one sec. Let's pull everybody over. Can you see?
I see where I'm standing.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you now see?
Yes.
Okay. So let me switch the stream over. There we go. Okay, so basically you all are at the top of like a couple, like these, like you're in the room, the door is kind of up like maybe 3 steps above you, and I got you in the room, but you don't have to be in the room if you don't want to. There's no door cut off there though, just because I ran out of map space. And plus you can't leave. Why would you want to leave? But yeah, you look forward and you can see like right in front of you on the ground, like kind of a sunken ground level, there are these 2 like consoles in the center. There's consoles on the left and the right, and straight ahead there is what looks to be kind of this major console, which occasionally has these flicks of electrical bits. What do y'all want to do?
And where was the motion that I thought I saw in the shadows?
Somewhere up here.
I'll turn on my shoulder lamp as well.
Okay.
Let's take up formation and check out that movement before we do anything else.
Sounds good.
All right. Whoever's out in front. Right now I had it at Spuds and Claymore, but it doesn't have to be. But that's what I have now. Can roll observation if you want.
Okay.
So I guess Spuds and Claymore, you're out in front. You got the lights being shined by Barrett and everything for you.
I don't know. I double rolled.
Oh my gosh.
You're trying to cheat like Melissa.
Yeah, I know. I'm learning from Melissa.
0 successes in
I'll push
all
it.
of those dice.
She's
Yes.
the old
Still
Master
double rolling for
Sergeant.
you.
Maybe she should run away more. Maybe that's Reese's stuff.
You know
You'll
what?
see
I'm
anything.
gonna. Why would I push with that few dice?
Cause it's. There you go.
There it is.
Matt, I think
Okay.
it pushed twice for you as well, so I think it just gave you 2 stress.
Oh, thank you.
So you would notice at the far end, Claymore, you start to see between these strange kind of like machines. They almost look like these large water heaters that are cylindrical, a couple feet in diameter. They go all the way up towards the top of the ceiling, right? You're kind of coming down a slope, so you don't have like a great line of sight in here, but like if you're bending down and looking, you can kind of see. But you can see sparks of electricity are kind of shooting back and forth between them. And you notice that as you're watching, there seems to be a kind of almost perfectly transparent kind of glass barrier that seems to be positioned between one side of this room and the other, kind of blocking where those two, partially blocking where those two things are. But you see, electricity arcing back and forth every now and then. But that's all
Sorry.
you see with one success.
My push rolled twice for whatever reason also. So my first pushed roll, the correct one, has 2 successes on it. So do I see anything in addition to what he saw with that second success?
Yeah, you do. You see a figure slowly becoming ambulatory within what looks like some kind of strange, almost mirage-like field, as if like as you're watching, you're seeing through like intense heat, or you're seeing through like electrical arcs that are kind of causing strange like glitches with your eyesight. But you watch as kind of beginning, almost like being risen up from behind this bridge console, you see this strange flayed synthetic being pulled up by what looks like tethers in the back of its body, hanging almost limply with like their back kind of split open. And you see what look like countless cables that are spilling outward from the back, like wings that are attached to those two large machines to the right and to the left. And as you're watching Spuds and you kind of see it and start, you see its head, which had up until that moment kind of been limply kind of hanging in place. You can see the back sides of the skin pulled forward, cables peering out. You can see it begins to suddenly move its head and looks directly at you, Spuds. Its eyes lit up with this kind of red color. I need go ahead and take a point of stress. Everyone at this point can take a point of stress from this, as this it's this enormous, strange flayed synth with cables begins to look at you.
Sephiroth.
A little bit.
Oh boy.
What do you all do?
Hello.
Shoot.
Okay. You hear behind you as you get your gun up, you hear as you look behind you, and you can see that in the hallway, the passageway moving forward, you see a bulkhead has dropped down right next to where those crates were that had the canisters. You can no longer reach the crates. And looking back, it's like an emergency bulkhead has dropped from the ceiling and blocking off the passage. You also hear a sudden like siren begin to wail throughout all of the different environmental systems, the speaker systems, and then it begins to override your actual communications. It gets on your personal radios. Everybody, before we get into that, everybody go ahead and make a stamina roll. As you just hear this siren screech, this wail. And if anybody... Actually, I got to roll too. What am I doing?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, stop rolling.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Okay. Anybody fail?
I failed.
I failed.
And rolled stress.
Okay. Anybody who failed, you are stunned, and you will lose your first slow action as we dive into combat.
I even pushed it. I still failed.
All right. You go
It's the end
in.
of the campaign right here.
Could be.
Yeah.
PK.
Could be.
Jeff, the old so-and-so.
What? Me? What? All you do is win. Everything's fine. That's it. I didn't mean to start up. Let me bring it back. Ripper, you are first on the docket. As you see that your going back is now cut off. It's not a door. It's like an emergency bulkhead has dropped. There is no way back. All it says is Jeff is a delightful human being with a very beautiful smile. That's all it says, Adam, when you use the Jeff tag.
Who also
All
cheats
right.
at board games? What?
I don't cheat at board games. What? Like I have time to play board games anymore?
Since we're cut off, I'm gonna try to take a shot at it and see what happens.
Okay. So you all are kind of up a couple steps. Those of you in the back, those of you, the two of you in the front, Spuds and Claymore, you're kind of at the base of these couple steps of stairs. So anyone in the back, you have a very difficult and somewhat obscured shot because of the sloping of the ceiling coming in. You can take a shot, but you're going to take it with a -2.
Is there enough room that I could possibly move up then?
Of course.
Okay, then I will do that, and hopefully it doesn't kill me first?
Yeah, you can fast action move up, no problem.
Okay, I'll move up. Oh, that's Claymore.
Yeah, that's you. Okay.
Yeah, 2 damage.
So you fire out at this thing, and I have to roll some stuff though first to see if it
No, you
goes
don't,
through.
Josh. You don't need to roll anything.
Okay, never mind.
If only it were that easy.
Right? Okay. You fire out, and you can see that kind of almost bulletproof paneling that seems to be out in front of it partially, like kind of from the top of what looks like the panel, what looks like the console at the front, where the electrical beams are kind of shooting out to the sides. You can see your bullets kind of get caught by it. One gets through, however, and does manage to hit it. Okay.
Nice.
So then next up is this creature. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my little, I made a little thing. Okay. Next to this, I said there's this machine sitting right next to you. Like this weird kind of contraption as you step into the room. You can see it as Zoe runs past it, and Kone kind of gets his sniper ready to go. You can see the electrical bits and pieces that were kind of cascading around at the front of this room. By you suddenly hear the sounds of electrical currents humming, and this is going to target. This is going to target Barrett as like an expulsion of electrical energy from this machine just bursts out from one of the panels right at Barrett. Barrett,
built to take this kind of thing.
Take 6 points of damage and
Oh,
roll
hell
a
no.
stamina. Or no, I'm sorry. Take 2 points of damage and roll a stamina test. I didn't mean. I
Okay.
don't know why I said 6. 2 points of
Pretty
damage.
shocked about
2
you.
points of
Make
damage.
sure I was real then.
Sorry about that. 2 points of
Does
damage. Roll
armor
a stamina. Okay.
Failed. I will push if I can.
Let's see. This armor. Yeah, you can roll. It doesn't. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, roll armor.
No, I
can
was just
ro-
pushing the stamina roll.
You can still roll armor to try to reduce the 2 points of damage. Okay,
Eh.
so 2 points of damage. You did pass your stamina, so you are not stunned. Okay. Next up, Claymore.
I don't look so good. In Abbott's terms, I'm looking at about 33%.
That's wonderful math, ma'am. Oh,
I'm gonna shout out. Target them doohickeys on either side.
that sounds like sound logic. And since Mom Bear did kind of set out earlier, like we don't need to ask permission for every little thing. I'm not going to ask permission to use the rocket launcher. I just am.
Okay. I will tell you this, Claymore. You're smart enough to know that you see off to the sides of it, there are viewing windows. So you know that this is a bridge that has like kind of an open viewing window to space. I'm just letting you know if it matters
We're
to you.
wearing compression suits. Do it.
Okay.
And plus, Mama Bear just got hurt. I think that's the thing that triggers it. It is when Mama Bear takes damage, Claymore doesn't think. He just does the most damage he can. And so I will take an action to aim.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I will. Which one's... Oh, there it is. Okay, give it 2 for the aim. And cross fingers.
All right. So you fire across the room.
Shit.
What's the total damage?
It is... I wonder if I should push it.
This is the boss fight. Push it.
I'm going to push it. So it's 5 armor piercing.
Mhm.
We're already at 8, and I'm gonna push it.
Okay.
Oh my god.
So what's the
So-
total damage?
5 plus 6 more. We're at 11 damage armor piercing.
Okay.
Don't hurt my mama bear. You son of a bitch.
Okay. You fire the rocket across the room. You see as it kind of just hurtles forward, it's just kind of slow moving, and then just goes with an immense amount of velocity. And then this massive explosion happens at the other side of the room. You suddenly hear all sorts of environmental alarms go off. Everyone make a mobility test.
Oh no. I've made a huge mistake.
Quick question: would I be able to make a mobility test if I used all my actions?
Yeah, this is to see if you get sucked out into space.
Just check it.
Okay, well.
Yeah, this isn't like an action. I just want to see, because as you create a massive explosion on the other side, which wrenches free, not only some of the the viewing ports explode, you kind of just explode right past one of those pylon machines on the left, just completely disintegrates and is blown and pulled out into space. And there's now a massive rupture on the upper left portion of the bridge area. You all are trapped in here, can't go back. And you also notice that even though the left pylon of this creature gets sucked out, the creature seems to be tethered and anchored in place. And so while it's kind of flapping around a bit here and there, and some of the cables are flailing around wildly, like you just ripped off one of its like wings, it's still intact. It's still here. But there's this huge hole that's in the bridge now. Who failed? Anybody fail?
I did.
I have 5 successes. Is there any way
I
I
have
can
4
grab my buddy
successes.
before he gets sucked out into space?
We have lots of successes
And
to
I've
spare.
got 3 too.
Yeah, I think that's fair. So you watch as Koenig goes flying, and he bumps past a few, but Spudge, you reach out, grab him with your arm, and you almost feel your arm kind of jerk out of its position, and you kind of anchor back down to the wall. Some of you grab onto the wall, or some of you grab onto this like machine right next to you, or into the rings in the floor. But you all notice that the grates that you're standing on are beginning to rattle, and they're kind of bending and peeling forward. You're hearing the sounds of like the little rivets, kind of the bolts kind of rattling and then popping out as everything is beginning to kind of get ripped free from here. It's a very old station with a lot of damage that just was done. And it's being completely decompressurized. What's up?
Oh, just good gracious. You know.
Also, the damage that you just did, it's still up.
Oh my god.
It is still up. Spuds, it is your turn. You have Koenig though. I'm gonna say you said you're gonna do it.
Yeah.
You have him in your hands.
Okay, no, that makes sense. I'm down with that.
Listen, if you want to shoot, you can let him go. And then just take a shot.
No, I'm gonna hang on to my buddy with your life.
Okay.
Oh, buddy, oh pal, you're not going nowheres today.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
I'd give you a raise after this.
Do you want to do anything? I mean, only one. I would say, your hands aren't free because you're holding on to them, but you still have your actions.
So I have my slow action.
I think you have both your actions. You're just hanging on to him, so I just don't think you have free hands to fire a weapon. That's all I'm saying.
Gotcha.
Until it comes to his turn and he can grab onto something.
Yep. No, I'm good.
All right. Abbott, your turn.
So, did the door that we come in seal up behind us?
No, a
Yep.
bulkhead
Bulkhead
came
door
down.
came down.
A bulkhead
Okay.
came down in the middle, like a protective emergency bulkhead came down in the middle of the passageway that had those crates and the canisters. Those weird.
Okay, so
White and black
eventually
goo.
this room will go back to being a vacuum and not just.
Yep.
Okay, so Abbott looks like he's holding on to this machine that shocked Barrett,
Yeah, that's fair.
and so he's going to hold on for his fast action and then take a slow action and try and see if he can disable this machine from shocking anyone else. Well,
Heavy
he
machinery.
Okay. He's going to use his torch too.
Nice.
So you've got one hand anchoring you. You get the cutting torch out, and you're trying
Oops,
to disable
that
this.
was That was a weapon, but I mean,
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, you cut through this thing. With 2 successes. Yeah, I think it's definitely disabled. Whatever it was used for, it doesn't look like it's going to be able to do that anymore. As you just cut a clear, huge gash right in the middle of it.
Right. And so, just feeling the pressure go around me, is it starting to lighten up a little bit?
Well, I mean, it's only been a couple of seconds, so.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yep,
I think the decompression thing is going to be every round. I'm going to probably have everyone roll a mobility every round. For a couple of rounds anyway.
Okay.
Barrett, your turn. Now, remember, there were 2 people who had... This is the first round of combat. Was it Barrett and Abbott who failed the siren screech?
Oh, crap. You're right.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think, both of you lost your slow actions.
Yep. All right,
You
so
had your
that thing's
fast
still
actions. You
going.
can still keep yourself. Yeah, you're fine. And then Barrett, what do you have a fast action if you want to do it?
Okay, so would you consider Koenig as being able to fire or do something because he's being held onto, so his arms are free that he can shoot something?
I'm trying to picture explosive decompression. He's nearly just got sucked out into space. He's gonna hold his sniper rifle and he's gonna take a shot all at the same time. I'm not saying it's not impossible. If anyone can do it, it's Koenig. But there will be a penalty if he attempts that. Yeah.
Okay. Then for my fast action, I will command Koenig to shoot.
Okay. Yeah.
So let me do my command. 3 successes.
Okay, you get a +3 Koenig if you decide to shoot on the next round. It will go again, as it has a speed of 2, which means it gets 2 actions per round of combat. Let's see what it wants to do. Okay. Okay. Ripper, you're out in front. You hear... You hear the sounds of the floor panels in front of you begin to shift and move and suddenly fly away. As crawling out of 2 of them, you see kind of beginning to spew out like those little spider-like things suddenly appear. Kind of clinging themselves as like everything's kind of getting sucked out. They themselves are using one of their weird angly arms to do so, but they emerge out of the ground of the base floor, and they're using the desks here to kind of like brace themselves as the decompression continues, and that's its turn. Koenig, it is your turn.
Well, shoot.
All right. You're -4 as you're shooting through a ton of traffic.
Isn't he technically up at the front if I grabbed him as he was flying by?
That's actually fair. Yeah, he would be.
He's in front of me.
Yeah, you would be there. Okay, so you're shooting over this guy through him. I'll give you -3. Go ahead.
Okay. And then I've got 3
+3
from
from me, so it
Barrett,
counts
so
as
that's
that.
a nothing. So I'm going
They
to take
they
aim
wash. Yeah, just do normal.
to give myself a +2.
Okay.
Ooh, I'm going to push that as well.
Okay.
There we
Yeah.
go.
That's
That's real
is that
good.
an armor piercing weapon that you're
Yes,
using?
it is.
Okay. What's the total?
Total damage is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
And it will take a critical injury.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what it is with arms. But you blow one of its arms clear off. And it goes flying off into space. And you can also see like the fluid just being sucked out from behind, as it is now Ripper's turn. As we move back to the start of the round, start of everyone's turn, I'm gonna say roll a mobility test to see if you can keep your footing here, and if you fail, you fly off into space.
Do I need to, since I'm being held on?
Start of the new round. This is a new round, so
Okay.
yeah. We'll see what Spuds decides to do on his turn. Okay.
Spuds gets no successes. He's gonna let you go with him.
Oh God. Oh no, and you can't push.
Nope.
I've got 3 successes.
Okay.
On my mobility.
Yeah. You only have 2 arms. And these are heavy people, and there's a lot of pressure that's being pulled. So I'll say you can grab a person. Who would you want to grab? Because it looks like it's Abbott.
Shoes?
Looks like it's Abbott and Spuds, and because it's, did you roll Koenig?
He passed with 2.
I did. Yeah.
Okay, so both you and Spuds go hurtling forward, but you reach out and grab like the wall, and Spuds keeps going. Barrett, or maybe you guys just switch, because I think you got extra successes, Koenig. You got an extra success, right?
Yeah, I got an extra success. While Spuds is holding me, can I grab Abbott? Now we're just like a chain.
Yeah, but then Spuds because of the extra weight. He loses his hold, and then the Koenig and we'll say Abbott kind of go hurtling forward and kind of smash in to this this synthetic here, where Spuds continues to hurtle away. Barrett is gonna try to grab him though. So
yeah, I was gonna say we could just have Spuds
do
and
that.
Koenig like switch places, and then I can grab Abbott.
I mean, all the force is still directing in a very specific. It's still going that way, so I don't think anyone's moving backwards at this point.
Oh no.
Yeah,
for sure.
So we'll say you managed to reach out and grab Spuds before he flies away, but he does lose hold of Koenig. Koenig and Abbott go tumbling forward, but Koenig managed to grab onto this little console desk, grabs Abbott with the other. However, Koenig, if you're using one hand to hold on to Abbott,
I can't shoot.
Not only that, what happens to your gun?
It goes.
I think your gun goes, yeah.
It goes.
Oh.
I think your sniper rifle just went out into space. Okay.
Damn.
But you saved Abbott, so there's that.
I regret
Everything.
So these are going to go on 9, actually. I forgot to add.
Meanwhile, I'm taking a page out of good old Mama Bear's book.
There we go. Perfect. Okay.
Trying to see cover.
So Ripper, what do you want to do?
Since they're right next to the one on the left, and I'm assuming we're still getting sucked out. Is there any way I can brace myself on something?
I'm assuming you're grabbing. You're literally with one of your hands. You're grabbing the floorboards, like you're grabbing the grates below you, because you can get your fingers intertwined between them as you're getting pulled away. Anybody taking a shot while you're getting sucked out into decompression, automatic -2 penalty. I just feel like it's really difficult to do this. But yeah, do you have a weapon that requires 2 hands or 1 hand? Do you have like a really big gun?
I think I'm actually not going to do anything yet.
Okay.
It's going to seem really weird, but.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm just going to hold on for now and see what happens.
All right, you hold on. It's going to be the big synth's turn. Okay. Okay.
This is bad.
Koenig, you hear from the console that you're holding on to, it just overloads and shorts out, and it courses out with electricity at you. Go ahead and roll a stamina test.
Okay.
Okay, you're all right. Go ahead and roll armor. Take 1 point of damage.
Okay.
Your armor absorbs one of the 2 that it would have done.
Cool.
Okay. So we go over to Claymore now. You look around. You see what your destruction has wrought. What would you like to do, buddy?
So if the mobility thing that kicked off the round made me have to seek cover, is that pretty much what I need to do for my action then, I assume?
What happened? Like you had a panic or something? Is that what it was?
I got a panic from the mobility roll, so I had to seek cover.
Yeah, I meant to say like at the start of your turn, your specific turn, you can roll mobility, but then everyone started rolling it, so I just let it go. But yeah, we'll say you have to seek cover. That's fine.
Okay. which I can't, but I'm just holding on really tight to whatever.
Well, you could climb off the wall and try to hide in the cranny behind there if you want to try to pull yourself over to that.
Maybe. He'll do his best he can, but if it looks like it's going to make him lose hold, he wouldn't. So he succeeded the mobility check. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, Spuds, you're being held onto by Mama Bear. Barrett's got you. You just let go of Koenig. You saw Koenig fly, but he seems okay. Him and Abbott are clinging together. He just got a little bit electrocuted, though. What do you want to do, Spuds?
Can I take a grenade, pop it, and just let it get sucked towards this thing?
Hell yeah. Yeah,
Nice.
absolutely. So good. What kind of grenade are you doing this with?
It's going to be the HEDP, the M40.
All right, roll the damage. The blast power.
What is that? Blast 9?
9.
I want to
Nice,
repeat
nice.
of last night because I had 5 successes on 5 6s, which is the
I mean, all you
greatest
need
I've
is
ever
one
seen already.
damage to do more critical injury to it.
Oh, is
'Cause
that
has-
it?
It's
All
yeah.
right.
I mean, it's all that happens whenever you do additional
right.
damage.
Oh,
And you
I
got
that
one.
one.
Yeah. So you watch as Spudge, you're Barrett's hanging on to you. You pull out one of the grenades off your belt, uncork it, and just let it go. And it's just hurtling through the air. You see it kind of smash off some of what is now a partially destroyed kind of bulletproof defense that the rocket launcher just wrecked completely. And it will take another critical injury. And as it explodes, you see this huge arcing bit of explosion, then immediately sucked down and out as the decompression kind of keeps the incineration from getting too big. And when you look back, you can see the synth is not there as you ripped off the other wing and it just hurtles out into space. Technically system shut down, but this sounds cooler as it just kind of goes flying off into space. All right.
I kicked out of the one wing angel.
Abbott, you're up. You're right next to this thing. You're actually right next to two of them who are also clinging, by the way, I should say. They're also clinging now to the floorboards or to the cabinets, something like that. They're holding on as well. But you can see that they have kind of these long, gangly arms and don't seem to be struggling as much as you, as if they've been specifically designed to work in these types of situations.
Mm-hmm. So Abbott is currently being held
Yeah.
right now, so he will do everything he can to attach himself to the shelf, like weaving one arm into the shelf, and then he's going to take his arm and weave it into the equipment pack of Koenig, and he will say, "Here, take my gun." And
Okay.
he's essentially going to try and hold himself and Koenig onto
Okay.
the shelving.
We'll say standard action to brace you and Koenig, and then fast action to give Koenig your gun. Fair?
Mhm.
Does that work? Okay, perfect. Barrett, it's your turn. You just saw this grenade float through the air and just explode. Perfect timing by Spuds. And now it's just these two figures in front of you that you're still struggling with in the decompression. So what would you like to do, Barrett?
So do both Koenig and Ripper now have the ability to attack these? two
Yeah.
Came up. Okay, so I'll command both of them. So first up, Koenig.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. You're holding this is all just verbal, and you're holding onto Spuds, so I think it makes sense that you can get your verbal commands off. Yeah.
Okay. So 1 success for Koenig and 3 successes for Ripper.
Okay. Keep that in mind. Next up would have been the synth that is currently in space, and then the vent rats will go. Okay. I think there's 2 here. I think they're each just going to take a shot at each of you. One at Abbott, one at Koenig. So we'll say first one will take a shot at Koenig. Looks like this one has... this one's unarmed, so it's just going to do an unarmed attack. Okay. You can roll your armor.
Oh, so he hits.
Wait, before he does that, I'm going to attempt to, since I've got a hold of him, I'm going to attempt to expose my back to the hit coming in, as I'm going to use my bodyguard talent.
Okay, go ahead and then you go ahead and
Dang it.
roll. Because you have to, so your body, I'm trying to remember how we used to do it. Walk me through it
You got to
again.
roll. You got to roll
Mobility.
mobility. Yeah.
Okay, roll your mobility. You're locked into him, so I'm not going to give a penalty.
can't
You guys
do
are already tied into each
Yeah.
other.
I don't succeed. So
Okay.
yeah, he's got to take the.
Can I bodyguard now?
Absolutely, River. Go ahead. Yes, please do. I'm
That's
trying
why
to
Abbott
protect
doesn't
Koenig.
succeed.
Okay.
I'm gonna like
Okay.
launch myself at it as I see him about to take a hit.
And as you kind of like, you almost just, I'm gonna say you just let yourself go,
Yeah.
and it knocks him a little bit off kilter as you kind of bump him, and he just moves a little bit further, and you kind of take his place, and he swings, misses, and scrapes his arm against the paneling of this console, but you can see he just kind of digs its arm into the metal just to cling to it. But yeah, you do manage to protect Koenig from that hit, which you would have actually taken 2 points of damage, even with the
Would've
armor
broke
one.
me.
I had 3 successes on that one.
That would have broke me.
Beautiful. Well done. Next up is the
It
other
is
one.
Is it the
Yep.
right or left one?
We'll say it doesn't. They're on the same. I put them on the same
Oh,
same
dang.
initiative. So one of them
Okay,
was.
I gotcha.
So we'll say the one on the left is the one that went after Koenig. The other one's going to go after Abbott. So this one has a knife, and we'll swing out with a knife. Okay, that is a success. I do have 1 success. And the knife would have done 2 damage. Your armor would then absorb both of the damage that the knife's default damage would be. So yeah, it stabs at you, but just can't quite get through the suit that Abbott is wearing, because you are wearing an Enviro suit. Okay. So then it's going to come around to Koenig. You got that bonus from
I
Barrett.
do. Okay, so the big one's still up there, right?
No, the big one's dead.
He went out to space, yeah?
He went out to space.
All right. The one that tried to punch me, I'm going to punch it back with bullets.
Okay. Okay.
We're still taking a -2 on everything, right?
I think so, yeah. And everything's
cool.
kind of, yeah,
And a
it's
+1
pretty
for me.
crazy.
Okay. So I'm going to take aim
Okay.
to offset that.
Just imagining the grenade just getting sucked out and exploding. So good.
All right. So I'll get a +1 on this. Okay. What is that?
Total
That's,
damage?
5. No, yeah, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I got to roll stress.
And it's
I'm
armor
trembling.
piercing.
Shake it, shake it.
I do not absorb any of the armor. So how much damage?
5.
5 is enough. 5. Yeah, 5's enough. Okay. Let me roll crit. System shutdown. So describe how it
Yes.
looks, Koenig, as you just turn around and fire. What does it look like as you system shut down this sucker?
I just initially I go for center mass, right? Dead in the chest. But I'm not used to shooting in 0 gravity with not my actual gun. So my creep is real bad. So it just starts in the chest and a few rounds just crawl up and just split this thing in half from the center of the chest up. Just
kind of falls off a little bit to the side, and then you can
Yeah.
see in the process of doing so, it has to let go. Its arm kind of like malfunctions, and then it gets sucked out into space. Which one
Yes.
was it? The left or the right?
that was the left. No, the right.
So the right
This
one?
one.
Okay. So that's the
Yeah.
one with the knife. So that one gets sucked out into space. All right. Ripper, your turn. You do have a bonus coming to you if you decide to shoot or attack in any way.
Is there a way I can try to kick this thing to loosen its grip?
I think that sounds wonderful. Let's
Yeah.
do. I mean, this just sounds like close combat, right? Just do close combat.
Okay.
And you get
And
your,
is
how much
that
bonus?
at a negative still?
I'm gonna say no. I think you're not trying to like shoot and aim, and the bullets aren't necessarily gonna be flying through there. You're just trying to kick it. So,
Oh, I'll take that. I kick it.
all right, I'm gonna roll a dodge for it.
No.
So I'm gonna roll mobility to see if if it fails, you'll kick it and it'll fly. Okay. One success. So you kick it. We'll say it kind of moves a bit, but it manages to you kick it out and then kind of loosen it from its specific hold, and then it kind of goes flying. But before it goes out the side, it grabs onto like one more bit of console before it flies away. It's almost out.
At least it
Claymore
won't be attacking us.
Yeah, Claymore, and you do know they don't have any range. They just punch and stab and stuff. Claymore, your turn.
All right. Well, I'm in a good spot where I am. I'll probably just aim and fire to offset the penalty.
Go for it.
Okay.
Yeah, you do.
All right. You roll.
So
Is that
5 on
armor piercing?
Yep.
All right. Nothing. What's the total damage?
5.
5 is enough. I'm going to say if this takes a limb off... Actually, I'm going to say the only thing that's going to keep this thing from getting flown out is if it's a head dislocation. I'll say anything else, it'll be enough to disrupt it. So I'll roll it in the open. And it's a head dislocation.
Sure.
So the head just goes flying off at that point and just out into space, and the body is still there trying to function. Spuds, you finish it off?
Yep, I'll aim and shoot.
Oh no.
As I scream in panic.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
We have to make a panic roll?
I'm sorry.
Yes, you do. Unfortunately, every friendly character who just you guys are all on radio together. All right, everyone's okay. You're keeping it together, Spuds.
All we need is one. That's all we need.
Is it?
Another-
Are you armor piercing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't even do anything because it's 2 damage, so it's gonna do another one. And that'll be enough. The damage that you do to it is enough that it just starts to just kind of like shake and shimmy a bit, move around, trying to like keep its organs from falling out. But in the doing so, you just see like those synthetic intestines just kind of get sucked out through the hole that Claymore had made, and then eventually this one too gets sucked out as well. And we'll say that with that, you have cleared this room of the boss and their 2 helpers. All of you hang on, and over the next minute or so, or however the hell long it takes decompression to happen, eventually all of the atmosphere within the room vents. You no longer have to cling for your lives as the explosive decompression stops. There is no atmosphere in this room. All of you are wearing suits, so there shouldn't be an issue. And you float about in this room, having defeated this creature. I think we are past time, so we'll go ahead and stop there. We'll do our resolution of this and where this takes us afterwards in 2 weeks. When we come back.
Cool looking, and then it went floating away.
That's went so well for you guys because of the RPG and then the grenade, those combo. That was a pretty crazy combo. Okay. That guy had some bad things he could have done to you. All right. So let's do final plugs and everything. Go around the horn here. So Chuck, what are the Defenders doing this week?
Yeah, let's see. Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Central over on Defenders of Cobalt. We'll be doing some Pathfinder 2nd Edition. Thursday night, also at 9 p.m. Central, we'll be doing 5th Ed, our Ghibli-inspired campaign. Saturday, 10 p.m., basic fantasy role-playing game. No, that's Friday night. Yeah, and then Saturday at 1 p.m., Forbidden Lands. That's all we got.
Awesome. Jen, what are you doing on your channel this week?
On my channel, we will be doing Tribes of Midgard tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Central. And then we'll see everybody on Saturday on DOK.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Adam, what do you like to plug?
Once again, I'd like to plug the announcement of the Beyond the Fire, creatures from beyond the Black Diaspora, where the where it was written by an expert on African folklore, and we just made some stats up for the monsters. And it will be released first week of November on ch03rpg. And here's the announcement for it in case you want to check out By the Fire podcast.
Awesome. And Matt, what's going on with you?
Tomorrow night on the Sirenscape Twitch channel at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, we're playing through an original Call of Cthulhu adventure. On Thursday, Jeff is running Delta Green for some of us over on Garblight Games at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. This Sunday, I'm going to be doing some Worldwide Wrestling at Gamehole Con. That is 12 to 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then that same evening at 9 p.m. Central, I'm going to run more Alien and Kill My Party.
Nice. Excellent. Hope you do better than I did. I feel ashamed.
I've got a queen, and they're surrounded by enemies above them and below them. So I'm hoping.
This is just a mini boss anyway. This isn't even a boss. This is just a mini boss. I mean, it's the boss of this place, but there's more. Jeremy, what about you, man?
I'm just, playing with you fine people, and I'll await your retribution on Thursday.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Jeremy's gonna die on Thursday. Tune in. He's gonna die in the first 15 minutes.
Jeremy doesn't
15.
Die
First 5 minutes.
First 5 minutes.
Plugs. Jeremy death. That's how it works. Matt already mentioned it. Come back on Thursday, Garblight Games, playing some Delta Green. But then also on our channel, back on Friday, right here, we're doing a different Delta Green, our Impossible Landscapes campaign. You come check that out. Crazy things are afoot in that one, as we are about halfway through part 3. I guess we're about more than 3/4 of the way through the adventure at this point, to the campaign. Then Saturday, we're doing some Halloween shenanigans. I'm not entirely sure of what game we're doing yet, but I'll post it somewhere. And then, I think Sunday this week for me and Chuck, I think we've got a Shadowrun night. And then, and then Monday next week, instead of Alien, we're doing UVG as we alternate. And that's that. So thanks for everyone who hung out. Thanks for the raids we got tonight. Thanks for everyone throwing out the severed arm emote. It looks fantastic. And I even got a couple arms tonight. Not player arms, but, there's always next time. But hang tight. We're going to go ahead and raid. Looks like Diesel Shot's still up, so I'm going to throw it on the end screen. We'll see ya. Have a good night, everybody, and have a good week. So, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.